Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, let's see how to make your AI read online articles. This is actually a simple RAG application that we are going to see. So I have bought an API key from OpenAI. You can check with this official website of OpenAI, and I'm going to use the model GPT-4o Mini. You can check with the pricing as well. For different models, there will be different pricings. So here we are going to use GPT-4o Mini. You can see the cost in this official website. And moreover, and I have taken an article from BBC. So this article is basically about Donald Trump's statement after he became the president of America in January 2025. To achieve this, we will be using two libraries in Python. One is BeautifulSoup, which is a web scraping library which is used to retrieve XML and HTML components. You can also check with the official BeautifulSoup documentation here. You can get more insights about this particular library, which can scrape information from websites. And the other one is OpenAI, which you might have already guessed. We will be using OpenAI's official library. You can simply give pip install OpenAI to install OpenAI library, and similarly you can give pip install BeautifulSoup to install BeautifulSoup library. So here our task would be, using this BeautifulSoup, we need to extract contents from the BBC website. So what we need to do is, using that BeautifulSoup HTML parser, we will be getting all these news from this particular website. We will be fetching these data using tags. Each news will be under different tag. For example, this would be under a header tag, and all these contents would be under paragraph tag. So we would be able to fetch all these contents by this method. So as I said, this news was on January 2025, and our model GPT-4o Mini, its knowledge cutoff date was 2023. So each model will be having its own knowledge cutoff date. So if you want to use latest model, you can of course go with this latest models, but I would be using GPT-4o Mini as its knowledge cutoff date is 2023, and we are going to make it read this particular article from 2025. This is how our application is going to work. As I said, this is a simple RAG application, right? So these data, we would be feeding them to the model, and we would be asking questions to it. So it could answer this current scenarios all around the world. So here I have written a code that give responses from this particular GPT model through an API key. So if you look at here, I have given the API key as an environment variable. Based on your case, you can give it as an environment variable, or you can directly pass the API key itself as a string. I would prefer to go with the environment variables. And if you see here, I have asked it a question. So I have generally asked, who is the president of America in 2024? And the result is, as of my last update in 2023, I don't have information about the future events or outcomes. As I said, this particular model, GPT-4o Mini, this model is as a knowledge cutoff date on October 2023. So if you use some other model, you can use GPT-4o here, and whatever model, you can just pass the name of the model here, and you can get the respective results. Since this particular model is trained on 2023, it is not recognizing the president of America in 2024. So what we are going to do, first we are going to scrape the information from that website, and we are going to pass the data to this particular model and make it answer to the questions based on the events that has happened on 2025. So let's start coding to extract data from that website. So let me first import the required libraries. So first I'll be importing OS, and let me import requests as well. Then I'll be importing OpenAI. Okay, I have imported the required libraries. So let me copy this API key to this particular code, and let's start to code that function to scrape the data from the BBC website. So I have already written a function, so let me directly put that function. So I have just pasted that function here. So this particular function fetches the data from the article. Here if you can see, I have used headers here. This header is nothing but a parameter which we need to pass in the response. This header is just a dictionary which has user agent as key value pair. So I have used Mozilla as a user agent. This means that we are accessing this particular URL with a web browser. If you want to know more about user agents, you can just check with the documentation. So here is a website which says about user agent. So here if you see user agent is a string sent by user's web browser to a server. So there are a list of user agents that you can use. So for example, if you want to use Chrome, Safari or any other things, right, you can just pass these values into that dictionary. So it will guide you with that user agent. So once we have declared the user agent, then we are getting the response from the URL. So here if you see, as I said, this particular object is using HTML parser. So once we get the response from the URL, right, this beautiful soup will have a HTML parser. So with this inbuilt function, we are just extracting the p tags alone from the URL. So if you see the URL, as I said, all these particular data are in p tags. So each website will have data in different tags. So you need to figure out a solution to fetch data from the particular tags. So here most of them are in paragraph tags, right? So I have only fetched paragraph tags in this function. Here I'm appending all these p tag text in a article text variable. So if you look at the for loop, it will just append each individual tag data to a article tag that will entirely give the whole data of this particular URL. So let's just save this. Okay, now that we have written this function, this will return all the p tags from the website as a whole paragraph in this article text variable. So using this article text variable, we need to write another function and give this article text to the LLM model. So I have already written another function where we pass this article text to the LLM. So let me put that here. Okay, I have already written that function, so I'm just pasting it here to save time. Okay, this is that particular function which in which we will be passing that article text data to the LLM. Before passing that data to the LLM, we have to give a prompt. So I have given a basic prompt saying that you are an assistant that can answer questions based on the article and its current knowledge. So I have passed the article text as article and question as question. So as I mentioned earlier, here I am passing the model as GPT-4o Mini. And here if you see, I have given the role as system and the context as you are an helpful AI assistant. So again, I have given the role as user and content as prompt. This means that this user defines me and it gives a prompt here. So all my content will go as user content and the system content is the role of the LLM. So this is how the LLM understands our prompt. So along with this one, our data from the article goes to the LLM. So if you see here, I have given the URL of the BBC article. So I have defined a loop here to ask questions continuously based on the article, and apart from the article we can ask general questions as well. Okay, let me try to save this and let's see how it works. Okay, now we are good to ask a question. Let me go to that article and let's search for something interesting. Okay, so here I got something interesting. So he repeated his pledge to change the name of Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America and take back the Panama Canal. Okay, let me ask a question based on this one. What will be the new name of Gulf of Mexico after Trump becomes president? Okay, now that we have given this question, our model has responded with the result. Trump pledged to change the name of Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America after he became president. So what this particular thing does, we have fetched all this content and given it as a prompt. So our model has understood that the Gulf of Mexico will be renamed to Gulf of America. So and it has given this particular result. So what this has done, this has gone through all the contents of this web page and it has answered. So if you ask a question out of this particular article, it cannot answer to the questions post 2023, which means the contents only in the article will be parsed here by the Beautiful Soup and it is given to the LLM. So let me ask a general question after 2023. Let me come up with a question. So let me ask in which year some movie, say, let's say Deadpool versus Wolverine movie released. I think it was released in 2024. Okay, let me ask this question. And it says the article doesn't mention anything about Deadpool versus Wolverine movie. However, general knowledge, there has not been a standalone movie. See, it doesn't know that this movie has been released. Since its knowledge cutoff date is 2023, it doesn't know anything post 2023. So this is how this particular model works. So if you ask any other questions related to this particular document, it will be definitely able to answer this. So this is how we have done this particular application. So when I said RAG application, this particular data from this article is grounded as its knowledge. So we have grounded the knowledge to the LLM here, and we have given it as a prompt. So this is a simple RAG application. So if you want to improve this, right, you need to go with vector database. We have to do chunking and embedding and improve prompts as well. In that case, it would be a better RAG application. So in general, we are just making a application that uses simple RAG. We are just scraping the data out of a website and we are creating a prompt and we are giving it to the LLM. So in that case, it would be able to answer the questions based on the prompt that we give. So this would be useful for beginners who are interested in RAG applications. So if you come up with any ideas, please let us know in the comments. We will discover more about RAG applications in the upcoming videos. That's it for this video.